I'm here in St. Petersburg on a yacht in the middle of the marina. I actually met some friends, Stacy and Jeff, on Instagram, and they invited us out to their boat for 4th of July when they found out we were going to be in St. Petersburg boat shopping. In the meantime, we had so many questions for them about what it was really like living on a boat.
I'm Stacy and this is Jeff, and we're the Ermacher family. We have today's episode for our YouTube channel, and we've lived in Florida for 3 years now. We moved here from Nebraska.
Yeah, well, we moved for the we were kind of done with winter time in
Yes,
Nebraska.
that's why we left.
So we left. We like the sunshine, we like the water, we like being outdoors, and so that's how we ended up in Florida.
Tell me about your boat and how you ended up living on a boat.
So we are on a 53-foot blue water yacht. It is 1981, twin Cummins diesel engines, big open salon. Very interesting story how we ended up on this boat in particular. We started looking to do a live aboard about 1.5 years ago. There were plenty of boats out there that would have fit what we were looking for, but the trouble in the entire Tampa Bay area is finding someplace that had live aboard slips available. So this marina, we're in St. Pete Municipal, it has a 3-year waiting list on live aboard slips. So all the boats that we found, we had no place to dock, and we really weren't prepared to live on the hook or on a mooring ball or anything else. So we kind of put it off. I think maybe it's been 3 months ago now. We bought a fishing boat. Yeah, so it would have been in April. And after a week, a friend of mine sent us the link to this one. And of course, then it was like, hey, our landlord hadn't got back to us yet with our renewal for our lease. So we're like, maybe let's take a look again. And so I came to look at this one, couldn't get a hold of the person, and ended up tracking them down to the marina here. And then when I got down here, found out that this is a boat that we had looked at for 6 months. It was anchored off of our drawbridge going into Tierra Verde where we were before. And we just always talked, and I even tried to track it down then to find out whose it was, because it was just anchored sitting there. And so ended up tracking them down. I looked at it in the morning, went home and got Stacy, brought her back. We talked about it for a day, and because we could get the slip along with it, we pulled the trigger on it. Because like I said, we had seen it for 6 months, had no idea, and ended up coming around to this. So that's kind of how we ended up choosing to be on a boat, but it was a very short period because we had bought our other boat and then saw this, and in like 5 days time we decided we were not renewing our lease and we were gonna move on to a yacht.
It all happened so quick, but it still felt like the right timing. Even though we had bought another boat before that, it still didn't feel like it was a bad decision, even though to others it might seem like very not a good decision. I don't know.
Okay, what is something you wish you would have known about living on a boat before you moved onto a boat?
I think that's an interesting question for us, because I think we moved on knowing almost nothing. And that was part of the exciting part, is we knew, even starting our channel, today's episode, at the very beginning, we said, this is what we're doing. You get to come along as we learn, because we know squat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could probably say I wish I knew more about diesels or bilge pumps or fiberglass, but that's the kind of the fun part, even though it's work, is learning all of those things for us as we go along, because there's a lot of just small tasks that we want to do, and learning those as a family and as part of our unschooling is what's there. So I could probably name 100 things, but at the same time, I think we're going to learn those
coming on not knowing a lot. It hasn't been as bad as I thought it was going to be, because a couple months ago I was like, oh, we need to watch all these YouTube videos, we need to prepare for this, prepare for that, and it was hard to prepare for stuff that you didn't know would happen for sure. And so it's hard to get on and just watch a bunch of stuff hoping that you'll remember it for maybe 5 years down the road when it may happen or it might not happen. But I had more worries and fears about boat life living at the condo than what I do now actually being here. I think the best things have been watching the kids adjust so well and how much they love it. They can sleep through a lot of stuff. They just enjoy being on the boat. And I've also liked the simplicity of boat life, which it doesn't sound simple with what we've all talked about, but it is really simple. I like being on the water all the time, and I love hanging out on the boat with you at night, drinking our beer.
So one of the best things for me is when we first started looking at boats a year and a half ago, Trinity wanted nothing to do with living on a boat. She was looking forward to buying a house, decorating her own room, all of those things. And in the last year and a half, something's changed about her, you know, with our homeschool groups, or kind of unschooling. Some of her friends travel a lot. And so when we came down here and we surprised them, they didn't know what we were coming here for, any of that stuff. They thought we were going on a tour. And then when we told her that we were buying this boat to live on it full time, she was just all smiles. So that's one of the best things for me, is knowing Stacy was in, Isaiah was already in, you know, even back then I was in, and Trinity was in, that everyone was going the same direction and everyone wanted it. So there was nothing forced about it with getting on the boat. So that's definitely the best thing. Yeah,
what has been the hardest thing about living on a boat as a family?
Well, for me, it has been, even though we didn't have that many things, getting things on and finding our own places for things, it has to be pretty strategic. And there were so many other parts and everything on this boat because it was a salvage company that had owned it. And so trying to get all those things off, finding out which things were actually for this boat and not for other stuff. And really the hardest part now, because we're in July and it's hurricane season, is we didn't just want to get onto the boat, we wanted to take it out. And it's been windy. My confidence level is not real high on it yet because it's a big boat. And so getting in and out of the slip, once I'm out in the water, it's good to go. But so that's really the hard part of transitioning here, is we were ready to get out and do some stuff, and we haven't been able to do that part yet.
What about you, Stacey?
I would say, gosh, now I'm like, oh, there's a lot of hard things. Sitting here analyzing the past 3 weeks, there's been a lot of hard things. I think for me, at first, it was cooking on here, because we have a stovetop and an oven, but the oven works and the stovetop doesn't. So it was just kind of getting into that mindset, like, okay, what can I cook in the crock pot? What can be put in the oven? Getting groceries, getting them back here, just moving in, trying to find a spot for everything, and still continuing daily life, like meals. And we did give ourselves grace, and we did eat out a couple times. But that, and I think for me too, is like handling daily life with the kids, thinking, what do we need to get done with them as far as learning? What do I need to do with myself to stay, to stay healthy? And then just when I think that, oh, today went pretty good, I'm like, oh crap, what does the boat need today? Like, the boat needs care, and I don't even, like, what do we do? Like, I feel like there's always something to do now, and I'm not used to that after living in a furnished condo for 2 years. So,
and that'll just be more getting a schedule for a lot of those things. None of them are like super long. It's just finding a schedule and getting those in there. I will say the other thing that I think for everyone transitioning was sleeping.
Yes.
The first night on, we had a really calm night. Everyone slept pretty good, you know, it's different. But then we had at least 3 nights in a row that were windy and rocky. And you hear new noises, you hear creakings, you think the boat's falling apart. I was up checking the bilges to make sure there wasn't water in there. So it was just all different, but it's like, all right, the boat's been floating for a long time. It's probably not going to sink our first week on it. But that part now, even with the wind and it's sloshing and, you know, the sleep's still getting used to, but it's way different than when we started. It was pretty comical at the beginning, now looking back, of how like freaked out everything is. You know, rocking's one thing, like I said, you start hearing noises and it's like, what just broke off, you know?
And every night still for the past 3 weeks I say the same prayers. I'm like, I pray that we wake up in our slip. I pray that we don't get struck by lightning, because like, and that I wake up and I'm not underwater, like, and I'm not worried about those at night now like I was, but it's on my mind. That's really good.
All right, where are y'all going? What are your future plans?
Well, like I said, it is mid-July now. We had planned on going out a little bit, you know, into the bay and just getting comfortable. But our first bigger trip is for August. We're planning on going down to the Keys. Obviously, that's going to be a journey. Our kind of cruising speed is about 8 knots, so it's going to take us some time to get down there. We've never obviously done that. We've never lobstered, so we're going to learn that when we're down there. I don't think we have a set time planned. You know, I work from home. I'm self-employed. We unschool the kids, so our trip down there is more until we're kind of ready to come home.
Trinity wants to be home before her birthday.
Trinity does. Her birthday's the end of August. She wants to be home before then.
That's what she says now. Maybe we'll get down there and she won't want to come home, but we'll see.
And then the next kind of thing we have planned is December, January. We plan on being in the Bahamas, and where, again, no ideas. It's just kind of go that direction and see where we end up. Again, if we like it, we may stay longer. If we decide we want to come home and make multiple trips, then we're just kind of open to what we're doing. But Bahamas is definitely on the list for after hurricane season.
Thanks for watching our friends Stacy and Jeff answer some questions about what it's like living on their motor yacht here in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you have any other questions for them or want to follow along on their adventure, I'm going to put the link below in the description so you can follow them or ask them some questions. We are continuing to boat shop. We think we may have found the boat that we're going to live on. So we're going to show you those steps and processes for that in the coming weeks about what it's like making an offer, contract, survey, sea trial, all of that. Until then, we're going to spend some time at the beach with our family and just relax a little bit. Thanks.